Some players are a lot younger than you think. You're going to be shocked.
Rob was kind of a shot in the dark. He came up on his pre-draft visit, had a bad visit. We put him in a room, came back, he was asleep on the floor.
Some NFL players have been around for so long that it's easier to think they're older than they actually are. In reality, these guys broke into the league early, and time goes by so fast that it's easy to lose track of their respective ages. Here are 10 NFL stars who are younger than you actually think. Rob Gronkowski. 2021 will mark Gronkowski's age 32 season, but the guy has been around for so long that he honestly feels a lot older than that. For instance, Gronkowski is the same age as Kansas City Chiefs superstar tight end Travis Kelce, but Gronk was drafted just before his 21st birthday in 2010, when Kelce was drafted by Kansas City 3 years later. How is Kelce the same age as Gronkowski? It's just so hard to believe. I mean, credit Gronk for breaking into the NFL as a 21-year-old. In comparison, Antonio Gates was 23 when he turned professional in 2003. Jimmy Graham was nearing his 24th birthday when he debuted in 2010. Ditto for the aforementioned Kelce in his 2013 rookie year. For Gronkowski, it's already been 11 years since he was drafted, and 10 years since he took the NFL by storm, quickly emerging as the top tight end. Throw in 4 Super Bowl championship rings, and the 1-year retirement in 2019, and it's pretty mind-blowing that the guy is still only in his early 30s. Gronkowski may not be a game-changing force anymore, but the guy can still be a giant impact player. After all, he did score 2 touchdowns in the Buccaneers Super Bowl win. At this rate, Gronkowski could easily go for another 5 seasons. Patrick Peterson. Peterson's recent decline in play would suggest he's older than 31, but believe it or not, that's his age. It's already been a decade since the Arizona Cardinals drafted him with the number 5 pick in what turned out to be a star-studded 2011 class. Fast forward to 2021, and his Hall of Fame resume is quite impressive. 8 Pro Bowls, 3 first-team All-Pro nods, and a selection to the 2010s All-Decade team. Peterson has been around and dominated for so long, it's easy to believe that he's closer to the age of 35. But the newly acquired Vikings cornerback has already played 154 NFL games. Has it really been that long? Peterson unfortunately hasn't played like a Pro Bowler over the last 2 seasons, but his tenure with Arizona was nothing short of remarkable. He turned back the clock and regained his elite form in Minnesota. If he does, you'll probably start to think he's younger than 31, not older. Lesean McCoy. Funny how after never getting close to his Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles or Buffalo Bills during his prime years, McCoy suddenly wins back-to-back rings in the very twilight of his career. McCoy didn't have to do much for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2019 or for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020. But hey, Super Bowl rings are Super Bowl rings. You take them when you can. McCoy is 33 years of age now, which is old for an NFL player, but rather young in real life. Considering that he debuted for the Eagles back in 2009, it just feels like he's even older than that. I mean, the guy has already played for 4 teams, 3 in as many years from 2018 to 2020. But McCoy, like Frank Gore and Adrian Peterson, has done an admirable job of hanging around during an era where so many running backs are past their best before dates by the time they hit their mid to late 20s. McCoy was simply put one of the NFL's most explosive playmakers from 2010 to 17, recording 6 1,000-yard seasons during that span. You just don't see that consistency or longevity from running backs anymore. And that probably explains why it feels like he's older than 33. Through the 2020 season, the 6-time Pro Bowler had accumulated 11,102 rushing yards and 73 touchdowns. He's past his prime for a while, but he's not done yet. So you gotta give him credit. Sammy Watkins. Feels like Watkins has been around forever. In reality, the speedy wideout is only entering his age 28 season. That's fairly young for an NFL receiver. Watkins was nearing 21 years of age when the Buffalo Bills traded up to draft the Clemson wideout with the number 4 selection in 2014. Of course, he never fully blossomed into a superstar, though he's been a handy number 2 wideout wherever he's landed. Maybe Watkins feels older than he is because he's now on his 4th NFL team. In comparison, fellow 2014 draftee and wideout Mike Evans has spent his entire career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Odell Beckham Jr. is only on his 2nd franchise. After 3 seasons in Buffalo, Watkins was traded to the Los Angeles Rams in 2017. He signed with the Chiefs in 2018, winning a Super Bowl ring in the 2019 season. He never fully lived up to that $48 million contract due to injuries and inconsistent production, but a championship is a championship. Watkins signed with the Baltimore Ravens in the 2021 offseason. We'll see if they can help him break out and become the star that many of us envisioned back in 2014. 2014. Minkah Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick has quickly established himself as one of the league's elite top-notch defensive players, and he's already on his second NFL team. Wait, what? The guy is only about to enter his age 25 season. Really? Fitzpatrick, taken 11th overall by the Miami Dolphins in 2018, was traded to the Steelers early in the 2019 season as the Fins began their tank job. Though Fitzpatrick fared pretty well in Miami, he really took his game to another level after joining the star-studded Pittsburgh defense. It's a scary thought for the rest of the AFC that Fitzpatrick is only a quarter-century old. This guy is going to keep wreaking havoc across the field for many years to come. The Steelers have themselves a true superstar here, and as surprising as it may be, he's just getting started. Todd Gurley. It has unfortunately been 3 years since Gurley was last regarded as one of the NFL's most dynamic playmakers. From 2015 to 2018, he was simply unstoppable with 4,547 total rushing yards and 46 rushing touchdowns. Gurley won 2015 Offensive Rookie of the Year and 2017 Offensive Player of the Year honors, and he helped the Rams to a Super Bowl 53 appearance in the 2019 season. But Gurley has been well past his prime for the last 2 years now. Hard to believe that 2021 will mark his age 27 season already. Maybe if he were still in his prime, Gurley would seem more like his age to us. But because of a notable decline in production, you can't help but feel like he's much closer to 30 now. And I mean, the guy was just 21 years of age when he took the NFL by storm in his rookie year. Those 6 seasons sure flew by, especially seeing how he went from total game changer to a bit of an afterthought in such a short period of time. It's a shame that injuries caught up to Gurley so quickly, because he was on a Hall of Fame trajectory early in his career. So much so that the Rams had no problem giving him a 4-year, $60 million extension in 2018, only to release him 2 years later. Shaq Barrett. File Barrett under late bloomer. The undrafted Colorado State product signed with the Denver Broncos in 2014. He won a Super Bowl 50 championship there in his first season. But Barrett wasn't exactly a household name at the time. The bottom line is that he's been in the NFL for a while now, and yet he's relatively young as he prepares for his age 29 season. Barrett was a solid contributor during his time with the Broncos, but nothing like the game-wrecking force that Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles have made him into. Barrett broke out in 2019 by posting a league-leading 19.5 sacks to go along with 6 forced fumbles. He was an instrumental part of the Buccaneers' Super Bowl 55 championship team, helping them destroy Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs offense in the big game. Barrett was then rewarded with a well-deserved $72 million extension over 4 years. Considering that Barrett has been in the NFL for 7 years now, it's easy to think that the guy is already in his 30s. Bad news for the rest of the league though. He's only still in the early stages of his prime years, with many more sacks and big moments to come. JuJu SmithSchuster. Another Pittsburgh Steelers star on this list here. Is JuJu seriously only entering his age 25 season? It sure feels like the dude is older, and he was drafted by the Steelers back in 2017. It was worth noting that Mike Williams, another receiver who was drafted in 2017, is 2 years older than SmithSchuster, and Corey Davis, the 5th overall pick, is 1 year older. It's hard to think that JuJu's already played 4 seasons at a professional level, and that he's already on his 2nd NFL contract. Where's the time gone? SmithSchuster and New Orleans Saints safety Marcus Williams were the 2 youngest players selected in the entire 2017 draft. In fact, JuJu was the NFL's youngest player once his 2017 rookie year began. They grow up so fast. Amari Cooper. 6 seasons are already in the books for Cooper, and yet the 4-time Pro Bowl wideout is set to enter just his age 27 season in 2021. Are we sure he's that young? Nothing against Cooper. It's just that Calvin Ridley, another former Alabama wideout, is the same age as Cooper, and Ridley was drafted in 2018, 3 years after the Oakland Raiders took Cooper 4th overall. You'd think Cooper would be at least a few years older than the Falcons wideout, but no. Remember Kevin White? He went 7th to the Chicago Bears in the same draft as Cooper, and it feels like we haven't seen that guy on a football field in forever. Yeah, maybe this is why Cooper just feels older to us. He's been around for so long, and he was only 21 when drafted. He's also been remarkably consistent as a professional, with 570 catch 1,000-yard seasons on his resume. I guess you get used to that strong production after a while. But to think the guy is still 3 years away from his 30s, we suppose that's good news for Dallas Cowboys fans, who have a great young nucleus on the offense here. Teddy Bridgewater. Bridgewater is now on his 5th NFL season, and his 4th in as many years. That alone makes it hard for us to believe that he'll still only be 28 years old when the 2021 NFL season begins. Taken 32nd overall by the Minnesota Vikings in 2014, Bridgewater has enjoyed quite the roller coaster of a career. He led Minnesota to an NFC North Division title in his sophomore year, but he tore his ACL and dislocated his knee before the start of the 2016 season. That kept him sidelined for the year and almost all of 2017. Having signed Kirk Cousins in 2018, the Vikings decided not to bring back the man once viewed as the long-term answer at quarterback. Bridgewater signed a one-year deal with the New York Jets, but he never saw playing time and wound up getting traded to the New Orleans Saints. Bridgewater did well in his third NFL stop. He went 5-0 as the Saints starter with Drew Brees sidelined in 2019. His efforts landed Bridgewater a 3-year contract worth $63 million from the Carolina Panthers. Now Bridgewater was on his fourth NFL team, and this was his first season as a full-time starting quarterback in 5 years. Yeah, that went by fast. After a lackluster season in Carolina, Bridgewater was traded to the Denver Broncos, providing competition for Drew Lock. 28 years of age is awfully young to be a journeyman quarterback, but that's the way the cookies crumbled for Bridgewater. Will he make Denver his long-term home? We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. What other NFL players are younger than fans actually realize? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, we're on everything. Go subscribe, go follow. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes one click down below, and subscribe to TPS. We post videos every day. Every day is a new video. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. I'll see you next time.
On my knee.